Alright, so I'm going to show you on the map where I've been the last couple of days. If you care, I'm going to go into a bit of detail, so if you're not interested, then you're best to get out while you can, because this might take me a while. Anyways, I started out 2 days ago because I haven't done anything for 2 days, right here in Bend, Oregon. So that's kind of where we are to start with, down here in Bend, Oregon. And I took off and I headed down the 20 and down there towards Boise is where I was going. But I thought it would be really cool if we switched to satellite view and you were able to see a bit more of kind of what, so here's Bend, here's where I came down, and it's really cool because you'll see that a lot of it's kind of mountainous and weird and useless, and then all of a sudden you get into these weird circles. Well, these are patches that are irrigated, and they grow a lot of specialty crops like radishes and cucumbers and onions, and apparently some of these areas in here, and if we get further over here you can see it gets it pretty green. You'll see they produce a whole bunch of onions. I read on a billboard somewhere, like last year it was 3 billion pounds of onions or some crazy thing. Well, that sounds like a whole lot of onions to me. So anyways, I traveled all the way through here. Let's see, where did I go exactly? Let's back it up so I can see. Let's switch back to map view for a second. Right, I came up here through 20 and all the way over to this intersection, not going to Ontario but going down here to Caldwell. So this was a nice drive through here. Let's kind of look at that. Is that the one where I followed the river all the way through? Yeah, because there's kind of this meandering river coming through here. You can see here. Let's go a little further. You can see this meandering river, and the road follows the river all the way through here. That was an excellent ride. It was so scenic and the weather was nice, and traveling down along that river was really excellent. So that was a fun. It's funny how you're cruising around and every once in a while you come across this little stretch of highway that is just awesome. And here's a whole bunch more. You can see wherever there's a little patch of dirt, they'll be irrigating it and be planting some weird crops of some kind there. Wherever they can get water to it, you can see they'll have some crops, and you can just see all the irrigation circles and all the different ways that they do that. Kind of cool. Anyways, so then I came over here, down here through Parma, down here to Caldwell. There's a story to that which I'm not going to talk about right now. And then I went over here to Boise, and I hung out in Boise for a while. I had a couple of things to do there. After, and I know Les wants to go to Boise, and I know where it is now, and we can go. When we come, we're going to come down this highway right here, though. It's 55, I think. I think that's the one we come down. Does that go to Idaho City? Anyways. But then I cruised down this, the interstate here, 84, down to Mountain Home, and this highway here is crazy fast. Speed limit 75, and so you can really tear. And then I turned off there and went on 20, cruising through. This is all just mountainous, desertous. A little bit of, every once in a while you see a little bit of farmland being used here and whatnot. And then incidentally, and I came through here a couple of years ago, and incidentally, here's Ketchum, Idaho, and that's where I stayed when Ian and I skied. And if we go down here, let's just zoom in there. You can actually see the ski hill pretty good. There it is. There's the ski hill that we skied at, and all the different areas. I mean, it looks a little bit, the runs are, the lifts are a bit different now than we were there. But there it is. There's Sun Valley, and there's Ketchum. And I used to live, we go up this road here, and we lived in a little place right up in here called the Ranch. Anyways, sorry, bit of a history detour there. Told you this is going to be long and boring, so You can bail out anytime. Okay, anyway, so I continued cruising through here, and I was planning on going to Arco, which is over in here somewhere. Where's Arco? I think it's right in here. I think this is it right here. Yeah, Arco. And I was coming through here. Anyways, there's this area here called the Craters of the Moon, and it's this whole big lava field, and it's really kind of weird. It's really kind of a weird view, and you can't see much here, but if you ever get a chance to drive through there, it's just kind of a strange thing in the middle of Idaho, this thing called Craters of the Moon. Anyways, I got to Arco, and there was no place to stay, and that was at about 8 o'clock last night, and nowhere to go. I had to travel on to Idaho Falls, which is right here, which is about another hour from here to here. So I got into Idaho Falls at about 9 o'clock, and that's where I stayed last night, in a sketchy hotel, kind of like the one I'm in tonight. But then this morning, got up and started heading down 26. I came down through here, and that was a pretty fun ride, you can see. And this here, incidentally, right here, that's where I took, you'll see some video earlier, and that's kind of where that came from, right in that area. And that's a Snake River. I don't know if you're familiar with the Snake River. That's the one that Evel Knievel jumped over. Of course, he did it way over by Twin Falls, which is down over here somewhere. But anyways, I'm not going to go there. I'll get distracted. So I came down here, drove through here, around here, and back up to Jackson, which is a terrible place. Like, it's a major tourist. It's kind of like Banff, but way busier. I didn't even stop there because I couldn't find a parking stall. It was just awful, so I drove straight through there. And if you go straight up on this road, this is where Yellowstone National Park is. I went there a couple of years ago, so I wasn't going to go up there. Came down here, through these mountains, and I was cold all in through here until we finally came out into the valley here. Then it started to warm up. Came through here. Really interesting terrain all the way through here. And then I came and I kind of took a little detour right. Instead of going all the way to Riverton, came here, zoomed up here, came across here, and up through here. Now this is this great big lake here, which is from a dam. You can see that this here is a little river that turns into this big old lake because of this dam. You'll see it here. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit, so you can kind of see it there, right? There's the dam, and so it's always interesting to look at this stuff from the satellite view sometimes. Anyways, I drove up here, Thermopolis, however you say that, up to Worland, which is where I am right now. And tomorrow I plan to cruise here, and that's the plan. But that can change. My plans sometimes change, so I don't want to tell you where I'm going, because it may not end up that way. So anyways, that's that.